Hi, and welcome to this podcast, Turning Trauma into Triumph. I'm Natalie Huschek. I'm the founder of Dignity Project, DBA Well Grounded Coffee, and we're here at Well Grounded Coffee, and we're going to talk with an amazing barista, Miss Jessica, who's been with us almost 3 years. Is it going to be 3 years in November?
Yes, it'll be 3 years in
Hurrah.
November. Yay.
And she's going to share a little bit of her story and how she is very much in the process of turning trauma into triumph.
Most definitely.
And what all that looks like.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So share with us what you would like to share with us about some of the trauma before you found Well Grounded.
Well, I was homeless. I think what led up to me being at Well Grounded was going from homelessness to rehab and then to Exodus Ministries. And that's where I got linked up with the coffee shop.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we were hiring, or you reached out? Do you remember?
So, funny thing is, I was living at Exodus at the same time as Hannah, and she had pushed me, not pushed me, but she suggested I'd come work at the coffee shop. And in my mind, I was like, well, that's too far to ride on the bus. Like, I'm not doing all that. And so
having two kids.
Having two kids, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I settled and I got a job at Sonic. And then, I was just so miserable working at Sonic, not making anything. I asked her again. I said, hey, are you guys still hiring at the coffee shop? She's like, well, not really, but, I'll see what I can do. And then I remember that I just wanted something different than Sonic. Like, it was just not a really good work environment. And I came in, and my son had to stay home that day. So I think he had like a head cold or something. It was raining, and I had to take the bus. And I was like, well, I guess this is what we're going to do. I said, I'm so sorry I have to bring my son, but here I am. Let's do this. So we did. I remember I sat with Hannah, you, and Alex, and we just kind of talked. And
With Liam on your lap.
With Liam on my lap in the blocks. The little blocks.
Okay,
yeah.
Now I remember it, now that you
Mhm.
said the blocks.
Yes, in my stroller, soaking wet.
So a lot of people probably can't imagine how a person becomes homeless. I mean, especially looking at you. You look amazing.
Yeah.
How in your life did that happen?
Well, it's, it was a series. I want to say it was a combination of circumstances and choices. I had moved to Texas. I've been an addict, or I was an addict from back since 2011. And I kind of just addiction swapped between now and then. But I had my daughter, Rain, who was barely one.
Okay, back up. What do you mean addiction swapped?
So a lot of times when people aren't ready to let go of, they don't recognize that they have an issue with addiction, a substance abuse disorder, or an alcohol use disorder. Like I put down heroin, but I picked up alcohol.
Okay.
And I was...
Which in your mind could have been, well, that's a lesser
Yeah,
thing.
it's legal.
At the same time, it took you down.
It took me all the way down. And it's like, at that point, it was, I had a daughter to think about. I had a child. She was my firstborn. And so I called my mom. My mom was living out here, and I said, I cannot live here anymore. I was just me and my daughter and my daughter's father, and I left. She came down. We packed up all my stuff and my animals and moved down to good old Texas.
Okay.
But they say you need to change your people, places, and things, but if you don't do any of the work to heal from things that you had gone through, all of that baggage comes right with you.
There you go. Wherever you go.
Yeah, wherever you
there
go,
you
there it is. Yeah. So, the alcohol issues came, the depression came with me. So I was still drinking, but I was contained in a home. Like, I had no clue where I was, so I wasn't really venturing out. Mm-hmm. I was just getting drunk to escape whatever was going on in my mind. Mm-hmm. And then kind of like shifting in the morning and dealing with...
What do you think was going on in your mind?
I was in kind of a, I want to say like a dysfunctional situation, just living with my daughter's father, and then his family, and then we had broken up, but I was still living with his family, and so that kind of becomes a very tricky situation. You feel like you're walking on eggshells, you don't feel like you belong.
But you came to your mom's in Dallas.
No, in Fort Worth.
Oh, in Fort Worth. Okay. But you still have stuff going on in your mind that you're trying to numb from.
Yes. I think it's a lot of things. I know a lot of it comes from when my mom and my stepdad separated a while ago, when she went through a divorce. And just being from that and then transitioning to, us all living at my grandma's and my grandma having a stroke and nobody was really there to take care of her. So I'm like 16 years old and
you became your grandma's
I
caretaker.
became my grandma's caregiver.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of things that you don't realize that you needed to have processed through. I mean, I remember my first time driving was the moment she came into my room and she was talking about going to Red Lobster, and I was like, okay, she's supposed to be getting ready for work. She was a nighttime labor and delivery nurse. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go to Red Lobster. And I first time I ever drove on the freeway was driving her to the hospital, and she was in the middle of having a massive stroke.
Oh, wow.
And so she just was not okay, and they said that if I wouldn't have gotten her there, it would have been a lot worse than it was. So
she did survive that.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. She still had some issues with the right side, and she couldn't go back to work, which is very hard for somebody who's worked at the same hospital for 22 years to deal with. And so, and then finding out she's diabetic on top of that, so it's like a whole new ball game of trying to manage things, and then, the divorce, and then my siblings who are, 10 years younger than me and down.
And you took care of them a lot, too.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So maybe just had to grow up pretty fast?
I did, and I didn't know what that looked like. I just did it, I unenrolled, because of my grandma's illness, my mom unenrolled me in regular high school, and I got enrolled in a charter school where I just went twice a week and did all my work from home. And
then you could be a little adult.
Yeah, pretty much. I was driving to the store, all without a license, driving to the store, just making dinners, getting kids in bed. And
then at the same time, doing drugs and things to kind of escape. So you had this dualistic life.
Yes, it's almost like it was
adult
a triple
over
life.
Here, too mature over here, and then...
And then here I am at night trying to still be a teenager.
Right.
And still have
escape
fun.
a little, or have fun.
Yeah, and so it's like those things combined with meeting the wrong people, it kind of just led from one thing to another. And those same pattern of things followed me in Texas. Yeah. It's just like, okay, I'm trying to do the best I can, and then it's too much, but I can't give up, but I'm going to escape, and, that's just the perfect combination for addiction,
Yeah.
Because there's not any addicts in my family. I'm the only one that has succumbed to the outcome of addiction in my family on both sides.
Drugs and alcohol, you're talking specifically.
Yeah.
In a way, we're all addicts, aren't we?
Yeah, that's true.
We're just addicted to different things.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to control.
I think what?
Control.
Oh.
For me.
Micromanage.
I
think even just, having a criminal background now, I think, on both sides of my family, I'm the only one that has felonies, let alone multiple felonies. So, yeah, it's definitely a dark path.
Right. And so you spiraled, you get back up, you spiral, you get back up, and then what happened? Was there a point where you were like, I have got to do something different?
Honestly, I don't know if I ever spiraled and got back up. I think I spiraled and I adjusted so I could continue to spiral. I was really good at making it look like everything was okay, and just putting on a happy face, because you have to be strong for the people around you. And when I'm in Dallas, or when I'm in Texas, in Fort Worth with my mom, like, okay, I can't let anybody know that I need help. But I also have this little girl that just means the world to me, and I can't let her know that I'm struggling.
So you're pretending.
Yes, pretending, avoiding. I didn't know that you could deal with stuff. I had I'd gone to therapists in the past, and I had not trauma, but just not very good outlooks on therapists. So,
okay.
There
are good ones and bad ones.
There are, especially when you're sober.
Well, in some of the other podcasts too, we touched on what it looks like, when you start living your life sober, and then you're feeling all the feels that you haven't had to feel. Yeah. And it's so uncomfortable, isn't it?
Oh, it's the worst. It's not the worst, but it's different. I remember walking into Exodus. I was like homeless, living in my car, pregnant, and then I got sober and had Liam, and then left. After I left rehab, I wasn't ready, so I relapsed, went back to Nexus, and then this time, I just kind of had a different outlook on things. But I remember walking into Exodus and it being so surreal. Like, this is an entire apartment. Like, the door locks. Like, there's nothing. It's
a safe place.
It was so safe. But
was it the first safe place?
It was. Well, I feel like Nexus was safe.
Okay.
But it was temporary.
But this was your home.
This was a home. Like, I hadn't had my own couch since 2014.
Okay.
And this is 2022.
So right now, how long have you been sober?
3 years. It'll be 4 years in January.
Okay. All right, 3.5 years. Nice.
Yes.
This is big.
Yes. But I remember it just being so uncomfortable, even feeling worthy of any apartment, that, like, I would put Liam to sleep and I would sit on my hands. I would literally just sit on my hands on my couch. I had no clue. Like, I didn't turn my TV on. I didn't know what to do with space like that, And
instead of, like, totally relaxing, like, you're just like,
it's like, this
holding
is
it together.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's almost like your brain is like trying to search for things that are unsafe. It tries to make a reason why it's not safe and why you should run.
We've talked a lot about the traumatized brain.
Yes.
What happens? Poor little
traumatized brain.
Okay, we joke about it because you do have to joke.
You do.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a real thing, and we kind of laugh because it's good to laugh.
It is good to laugh.
But trauma is a real thing, and it literally reprograms your brain, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And I think at that point I had so many traumatic events that I was experiencing bouts of PTSD. And one of my doctors told me that PTSD is actually a brain injury. Like, sometimes it's so severe that you cannot come back from it. And I think that the level that I was at, just coming down from all the drugs and then all the fear and the shame and everything creeps in, I think I had to be where I was at to be able to process those things, because I think if I wasn't around anyone safe, like I was the first time, I didn't go home to a safe situation. I was technically homeless again, and now I had my daughter and my little baby, and we're just burdening people around us, and it's just so crazy, like, how God lines things up for you, It's like, he knew I was gonna relapse, and then he was like, no, you're mine. Stop it. Let's go. Come over here.
And you really, maybe I could say more than any other barista, you're just like all in to healing, all in, like everything that looks like healing. You're like, let me in, I'll try it. So you've obviously done therapy, EMDR, hypnotherapy,
biofeedback, IFS, region, anything that I could sink my little brain into, because it's like the farther and farther I got away from my traumas and the drugs, is the more curious I got to why I am that way. Even now I'm just like, I don't understand why I do that, and so I will try to figure out a reason why I get worked up about certain things.
Triggers to that traumatized brain. Well, we are proud of you, and so you joined our team, our family, our sisterhood.
Yes.
Another safe place.
Yes.
And here you promoted, and then you were invited onto the leadership team. And you've been on the leadership team for at least a year, I want to say.
I want to say it's like over a year and a half.
Yeah.
Since May of 23, because it's like I got my first promotion, and then I went right from first promotion to leadership team. Like I don't think I got a tier 3. I just went right to leadership team.
You fast tracked it, didn't you?
Yeah.
How'd you get away with that?
Oh, Hannah.
Man, she's really been she's like your manager, right?
I guess. She can be my
So
manager.
we opened a second store
Yes.
a little over a year ago, and Hannah opened the store, but pretty soon after, you took it over. And tell me about that.
I just love that little store, and it's so funny how like the enemy tries to like puppeteer you into staying away from things that are good for you, because when you told me, I was so mad. Yeah. I felt like I was like, ugh.
Being shipped off.
Yes,
Punished.
I'm getting shipped off. I'm not doing a good enough job here that I just have to go over there and do less. But now looking back at it, it's been such a blessing, because I have been able to calm my brain down and sit and think and strategize better. Whereas like here, everything's so fast paced sometimes that I get tracked back to that survival mode where I'm comfortable.
Yeah. So your store is where? So this store, of course, is in East Dallas on Garland Road, and your store is where?
It's in the Bishop Arts District. It's Oak Cliff, but it's the, I want to say it's the nicer part of Oak Cliff, the Bishop Arts area. It's real artsy, and
now you love the store. What are some things you love about it?
I think just that I don't know that it's different. I don't know. I think it's mostly the people. I think I've learned that I love people, and obviously the dogs that come in with them. But it's been kind of like a breath of fresh air to be like creative in a way that I am able to be creative, which
make
is
it your
like
own.
like organizational wise. You know what I mean? So it's like coming up with systems that work just for that store, like. That is my bread and butter. Like, I love doing that. It just, it's like my love language.
And now
to
around
myself.
here, she's considering a position that was offered to her, which is organizational director?
Yes.
Something like that.
Something like
we
that.
haven't come up with the title for sure. And she hasn't accepted, but she's praying about it. I have high hopes that you
I do
accept
too.
it.
I think that's why I don't want to pray about it. Because I'm like, I already know what I want to do. You
And
know?
what if God says no?
I know. That's why I ask,
Yeah. And really, you've been being prepared for it, I believe. So you started college when?
I started college spring of 23.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit before that.
Pretty soon after you got here.
Because I did like a continuing education course for hospitality. And then when I realized, I kind of want to keep pouring into myself in this way, I just signed up for a full-on credit college, and I've been at Dallas College ever since.
Nice.
Yes.
Love it. And are you close to your associates now?
Yes. I'll have my associates in applied science for hospitality management in spring of 26. I had to think about that.
I love it. You have your
too.
2 babies.
My 2 babies.
And something else happened with your 3rd baby. Because when we hired you, you didn't have visitation.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't have any visitation at all. And that was super hard for me. That's actually the reason why I allowed myself to relapse the first time, was because I thought I was going to go get him, and then I was just going to be a mom and everything was going to work out. But that was not what God had for me, and he hasn't closed that door for me. He still tells me
just to have these great visits.
Yeah,
is a big
they're
deal.
amazing.
Yeah.
Just for him to come visit, and I get to be the fun mom, for a couple weeks or a month,
And your other 2 love him.
They love him. Yeah, especially Liam.
It's been a process.
He
hasn't
loves
it?
his big brother.
Yeah. Awesome. So your foundation's getting stronger and stronger. I mean, obviously, just even living with trauma is a lot every day.
Yeah.
But the way you're open, I think, to learning and and you're never alone.
Yeah, definitely. I think safety is a big thing for me, and I think that once I was on the leadership team, I kind of like identified you and Hannah as like my safe people. Like there's safe areas and then there's safe people, which, I mean, there's obviously a lot of safe people, but I can be like ugly and messy around y'all and you still love me.
Because we're also ugly and messy.
No, you guys are perfect.
For sure.
But yeah, I can be ugly and messy and ugly cry or just say something that's completely wild and you're like, okay. And we just, or you pray with me or you love on me and I trust what y'all have to say and I trust y'all's opinion in things, like when I tell people about like my biblical counsel, like I always talk about you because I trust what you have to say about God. So
that's awesome.
yes.
I'm so happy you're here with us.
Me too.
Never leave.
Me
Please
too.
don't leave.
I see you trying. I see you. Don't worry. I'm not going. I'm very loyal.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that I appreciate about my character is that I'm an extremely loyal person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so when I see you now, so proud of you, so excited about your future. It's bright, and it's not like we're naive. We know that life is hard day by day, especially with the little guy.
Yeah.
Who's 4 and so
full
wonderfully wild.
Life. Yes.
But when you think about right now, who you are, and what would you, it's like, I don't know, 5 years ago, your life.
Yeah.
What are some of the differences and what are some of the key factors?
Well, I think that, 5 years ago I was surviving a lot. And my smarts really helped me to get away with a lot of things. By the grace of God, I've never had to do prison time. I've gone to jail a lot of times, but it's like the way that those events laid out, it never happened that way. And I think just constantly being in fight or flight mode, and just trying to be, I don't even want to say trying to be a criminal. Like I was a criminal and I hung around criminals and I did criminal things and I was not sorry about it. Versus now it's like I have this sense of like belonging and purpose, integrity, and I spent a lot of my life like skating around the rules. Like I'm not breaking the rules, but I'm right there where I could be, or it's like, is this really bad? Because, I didn't do it like they did it.
Some of those skills, that's why you're our undercover detective.
Yes.
Yes, well, we need it.
Can't tell people that. Then everybody's going to know. They'll have to start charging you.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Coffee, right?
Yes, of course.
Coffee beans.
Yes. Yeah, but I think that, those things, like, they were gifts, but I used them the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Said.
Yes. Yeah, I know I abused my gifts, which I didn't know they were gifts. I was like, yeah, I just got away with.
Pretty slick.
I think one of the more funny things I did is I was homeless. I got pulled over, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go to jail. Great. But this was COVID time, so so they're arresting me, I was like, okay, I just need to let y'all know now before you take me to jail that, I was with my brother and he has COVID. And their face goes white. And they're like, hold on one second. And they make a phone call. And they're like, don't drive in this area anymore. And they let me go.
Yeah.
Actually, yes. I got let out of jail like 2 times because I said that I had COVID or I was exposed to COVID. And this is before they had all the fancy schmancy tests, and it was just a big. Nobody wants to be the person that brought somebody to bring COVID into jail,
right?
It's like a whole thing. So, yeah.
Skills, special skills,
and now I use them for other things.
There you go. There you go.
Like strategic ordering,
there
and just I don't know. I just have like a way, like a puzzling way. Like I like to figure things out that are. Yeah. Sometimes challenging, unless it has to do with emotions. So I still try to avoid those sometimes, but yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah,
I think you're crushing it.
Thanks.
Yeah,
thanks.
I love you a bunch.
I love you bunches too.
So stay forever. Did I already say that?
Yes, you have.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. So if you had an audience, and today you do, what kind of hope would you want to throw out to them, or what you want to say kind of like what I said to Natasha, if you're going to look back on your 15-year-old self, what do you want to say to her, or anyone in that situation?
Yeah, just don't give up. I think that is what has gotten me so far, is not giving up, even though it looked a lot like I was giving up. But I think at those times, like, it was either like be suicidal or go do drugs. So it's like there's still an area of not giving up,
For sure.
So I think just not give up and just know that God is real. I spent pretty much my entire life not knowing if God was real and thinking if he is, there's no way he loves somebody like me.
Oh.
And then coming to being clean and sober and where I'm at now, it's like knowing, like I know for a fact that he's real, he loves me, and he is the only reason I'm where I'm at today. It's like I tried so many times and finally said, God, if you're real, please get me out of this.
There you go. And step by step,
Yes.
here you are.
Yep, just even if it's
Crushing
the
life.
slowest step of the day, just take it in the right direction towards him, because and even if you turn back and go the other way, he's still waiting for you. Like,
Yes.
he's not
Like
just
the
a one and
prodigal.
done kind of God. He's
Full of grace.
He's great, and he's a gentleman, and he's patient, and man, I could just talk about him all day.
Right.
I could. I
Yeah.
love him. Yeah.
And a big factor in your turning trauma into triumph. So,
Yeah.
awesome.
The biggest.
Thanks for being an inspiration.
Yeah. Thank
And
you so
thanks
much.
for joining us today on Turning Trauma into Triumph. So, wow, Jessica, what an amazing, brilliant, talented person. She has been with Well Grounded for coming up on 3 years. It's hard to look at her and imagine her being homeless. But as she mentioned, it's just some decisions and circumstances that can lead to a spiral downward. And thankfully, she had the courage and to ask for a second chance. I hope if you're in a situation where you're spiraling downwards, situations and decisions lead you to a dark place, that you will reach out, because there is help. Thanks for joining us today on Turning Trauma into Triumph.